How's it going, everybody? Jake Baker here with the Bloomington Edge, here to cover all things football. We are here in Fantasy Football Week 6, covering the usual, the standouts, the injury updates, key matchups, this week's picks, and then I also added a what to watch for because there's a lot of things going on new in the league. So some standouts in Week 5. First guy being Deshaun Watson, had another 5-touchdown performance this week. Houston definitely really happy to have him. Definitely going to be a franchise quarterback for him. Next guy, Melvin Gordon. That scrub matchup between the Chargers and the Giants. The Chargers came out on top, and then Melvin Gordon had a great game, 34.3 points, over 100 yards rushing, and then about 50 yards receiving, where he had 2 touchdowns. So great performance from him. Then Leonard Fournette, a guy who said the NFL wasn't even that big of a pace change from the SEC, and he definitely showed it this week, scoring 31.4 points. Great week for him. Then A.J. Green playing like the A.J. Green we're used to, 7 receptions, 189 yards, a touchdown, and then that total 29.9 points. Great week for him. And then DeAndre Hopkins, not a ton of receptions, but 3 of those came as touchdowns. Scored 27.2 points, and we know that's all that mattered. If you guys watched that Monday night matchup, you saw that Latavius Murray for the Vikings didn't get a lot of carries, but Jerick McKinnon stepped up. I think he scored around 26 points, so that's another guy I'd like to mention this slide. Just some injury updates in another terrible week for injuries. J.J. Watt has a tibial fracture. He's going to undergo a season-ending injury. You hate to see that. A guy who really locks down that Houston defense. And then Whitney Merciless, another guy who also locks down that defense. Pectoral tear, season-ending surgery. So if you got the Texans defense on fantasy, be sure to give them a look and make sure see if there's any defense out there that are better matches for your team, because they're going to be struggling these next couple weeks. Then we got Odell Beckham Jr. I'm sure you guys heard about this one. He's also undergoing season-ending injury on his ankle. So it's tough to see him go. He's had a lot of tough injuries this year, and I'm sure he's going to come back strong as ever, but that receiving score down there in New York is having a rough go. And then Brandon Marshall, another guy going down for the Giants, having season-ending surgery. Giants core is just really bad, and Sterling Shepard right now is also questionable with an injury, so we're going to see if he can get out there this week, but I doubt it. Then Marcus Mariota, I know he's questionable in a lot of leagues for fantasy, but they say he's out to 2 to 4 weeks with a hamstring injury. They're going to give him a little bit more time to recover, make sure he's 100% before they get him back on the field. So here's the next week matchups, the schedule for this upcoming week. A lot of good matchups. We're going to see the Pittsburgh Steelers and Kansas City Chiefs, see if the Steelers can knock off the Chiefs, who seem pretty invincible at this point, but should be a pretty good matchup. And I hope you guys tune into the Arizona Cardinals game, see if Adrian Peterson can kind of rewrite his story, bounce back his career down there against the Buccaneers. So a lot of interesting matchups. Give that a look. Pause the video. So next week's picks, I kind of just put the whole receiving core in New England since you're going up against the Jets. So if you got any of those guys on your lineup and they're not starting, be sure to get them in there. Chris Hogan, Rob Gronkowski, and Brandon Cooks, all guys that I think are going to have pretty big weeks. Next guy, Jordan Howard, playing the Ravens. They had a pretty solid defense at the beginning of the year, but they've been kind of slipping up, haven't won a lot of games, losing confidence. And then they got Mitch Trubisky for the Bears that are going to kind of spread out the field. I think going to give Jordan Howard a little bit more running room. Then we got C.J. Anderson going up against the 0-5 Giants. The Giants are just not confident. They don't have any offense. The defense is going to be tired because the Giants' offense, I don't think he's going to be able to move the ball at all. So expect C.J. Anderson to exploit that. He's going to get a lot of points this week. Get him out in your starting lineup. And then we got Golden Tate playing against New Orleans, who has a terrible secondary. So be sure to get him out there. He's going to him and Matthew Stafford, I'm sure, are going to tear apart that New Orleans D. And we got T.Y. Hilton, who seems to already be developing some chemistry with Jacoby Brissett. Showed that last week, had over 150 yards receiving. So I think he's going to attack that Tennessee secondary pretty well. He's been struggling the past couple weeks. Got some things to watch for. First one, I'm sure you heard Adrian Peterson traded to the Arizona Cardinals. He wasn't getting any snaps over there in New Orleans with Kamara. Kind of coming in as that third down back. Adrian Peterson only had 27 rushes this season, and Mark Ingram is that solid one back for them in New Orleans. So the new start in the Cardinals, they cut Chris Johnson, so he's going to be the number one back or what a lot of sources are saying. So if you don't have Adrian Peterson picked up, check the waivers, make sure you get him. I know he's only owned in about 50% of leagues, so make sure you guys take care of that. The Giants receiving core situation, I kind of just joking around with this one. You see Chad Ochocinco and Terrell Owens are kind of tweeting around on the Giants Twitter page saying, we're available, but that'll probably not happen. But it'd be really cool to it's a cool idea to poke around with. So again, I just want to thank you guys for watching. Be sure to check out our Facebook page, Bloomington Edge, and our Twitter at Bloomington Edge. Our website is www.bloomingtonedge.net. Check that out. There's a lot of cool promotions going on in the month of October. If you buy your season tickets or flex package this month, we're throwing in a game-worn jersey from last year or a football. Your choice. It's a great thing going on. Make sure you take advantage of that in the month of October. And then just check out some other events that are going on in the community, and be sure to come check us out, talk to us. We'll be sure to give you any more information you guys are looking for. So as always, I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. I wish you the best of luck in this upcoming fantasy week, and I'll talk to you guys next week.